All right, we can pray. Just let me know y'all ready.
Hi.
Yeah, I'm ready, Con.
And I praise it.
Shalom, Mayan.
Shalom. Shalom.
So last week we did Fruits of the Spirit part 1. This is part 2 because we were talking for about 2 hours, almost 3. We didn't expect it to go that long, and we only covered 5 fruits. So this week we're retouching the topic, finishing off the rest of the fruits, Lord willing, covering the rest of the 4. We left off on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We left off on gentleness last week. So Lord willing, tonight we'll discuss goodness, faith, meekness, and temperance. Without further ado, Lord willing, y'all been enduring. Again, this is a dialogue. I want to dialogue with my sisters and talk about these things. This is not school. So so like last week, I'm still looking at my notebook, and like last week, I pulled the definitions from the Strongs using Galatians 5 and 22 through 23. So all these definitions are from the Strongs. So Lord willing, we can go over the definitions. Lord willing, we can discuss what does it look like practicing these fruits, and what does it look like when we don't practice them, because, like the Most High had us talk about last week, if we're not moving in the fruits of the Spirit, we're going off, period, point blank. And we can be as diligent as we want. We can read as much as we want, but if you're not moving the fruits of the Spirit, all goes to naught. So we're going to start with goodness, which is Strong's G19. And I will share my screen with y'all. Don't mind my loafy beats. I like those, okay? I will share my screen with y'all. So we'll go to Galatians 5 and 22 and 23, and we'll read it again. But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long-suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, temperance. Against such there is no law. And there of Yahushua have crucified the flesh with the affections and lusts. If we live in the Spirit, let us also walk in the Spirit. So, Cunning. getting Strong's G19 from goodness. The definition reads,
Strong's G19, agathosune. Agathosune.
So the definition of goodness is uprightness of heart and life, goodness, kindness. So for a definition, so like an example I personally wrote down was help your people out when they're in need, if you got it, uplift your sisters, pray for and with them, send precepts when they need them, treating others how you want to be treated. So Lord willing, I would like to know, like, how do y'all think we can apply goodness on our day-to-day walk? And, what would it look like if we weren't applying it, and how would we be going off?
So how I would say that we can apply this is by like bearing one another's burden, being there, when your sisters in need, whether spiritually, physically, in any shape, way, or form. And you say, how would it look like if we was not applying it? And how I think it's kind of selfish. You only thinking about yourself. You're trying to only uplift yourself and not your fellow sister. In the Bible speaks about, helping one another instead of being selfish. For example, how shy. When Satan was coming after Peter, he just didn't pray for himself, he prayed for Peter also. So that's how we got to be for one another.
Khan, beautifully said. Khan, I agree, because, goodness is, like it just says, uprightness of heart, and we're commanded to love our neighbors as we love ourselves. And Luke 6:31. Let me get it real quick. 6:31, we're supposed to treat others how we want to be treated. When you're going through a hard time, you'll want somebody there for you. So the upright thing to do would to be, just good morals. Like the upright thing to do would be there for that person. Luke 6:31. And as ye would do that men should do to you, do ye also to them likewise. And that's Yahushua speaking. So we treat, and all these sayings in the world come from the Bible, like treat others how you want to be treated, that comes from the Bible. So, we just got to be there for our sisters when they're going through it. That's how I saw the fruit goodness. And if we weren't applying it, goodness, we would be going off, I feel like, in a sense of kind of like what you said, sis, like selfishness, not bearing that burden with your sister. Uprightness of heart, you kind of see an Israelite that's homeless. You got food in the car. You just went grocery shopping. You got a blanket. You just drive by them. You just drive by them. That's not the upright thing to do. So even when it goes to stuff like that, giving alms, and you got it. Because we're commanded to give alms. And Lord willing, I can get that precept. I'm just put on my phone and just read them to y'all. Usually I share it on the screen, but I don't want to be switching a lot of tabs. But this is, I'm gonna start at, because hold on, let me get this real quick. So the definition of upright means strictly honorable or honest. Similar words, basically synonyms, means right-minded, righteous, virtuous, moral, good, high-principled, correct, just, noble, incorruptible, upstanding, and high-minded. Again, hold on, so I can, give me 1 second. So I can, so that's what the definition of upright means. And those are some synonyms. So the righteous thing to do, the good moral thing to do, the honest thing to do if you saw an Israelite that was homeless and you got food would be to give them alms. And that's the fruit of the spirit, goodness. And goodness means upright of heart. So if we weren't to do that, we would be going off, so that's how I can kind of just, me personally through the spirit, connect goodness and how it would look like if we weren't doing it and how we would be going off, so let me get the precept on charity. And goodness is not just, and giving alms is not just giving money and like giving food, buying stuff. It's also spiritual as well, uplifting people through the spirit with precepts. So even if you see your sister down and she's really going through it, and she's been going through it, the righteous thing to do, the upright thing to do, the virtuous, righteous, honorable, honest, noble thing to do would be sending her precepts. Not just on one day, constantly sending her precepts, praying for her, fasting with her, for her, calling her to see how she's doing. That would be the right thing to do. Like you said, sis, bearing that burden with your sister, that would be the right thing to do. So that's how I personally connect that with goodness. And like you said, it would just be very selfish. And what's going to do with that? It's like, so this is Tobit 4 and 8. I'm gonna start at verse 7. Give alms of thy substance, and when thou givest alms, let not thine eye be envious, neither turn thy face from any poor, and the face of Yahweh shall not be turned away from thee. So if we turn our face from Israelites that need our help, the Most High gonna turn his face away from us. So what goes around comes around. And if thou hast abundance, give alms accordingly. If thou have but a little, be not afraid to give according to that little. So if you see an Israelite that's homeless, I'm gonna just keep using this analogy. If you see an Israelite that's homeless and you got it to give and you don't, that's selfish, just going off. And even if a sister's down in the spirit and she's dealing with maybe a slothful demon, you got 10 breakdowns in your notes on slothfulness, and then you got a page full of precepts, and you only send her one note, knowing you got more, but you don't want to send it to her because you don't feel like scrolling through your phone. But you'll scroll through your phone on social media though. So it's just, things like that. It's just not the right thing to do. So, we got it to give, we gotta give it. Precepts. This is Tobit 12 and 9. For alms doth deliver from death and shall purge away all sin. Those that exercise alms and righteousness shall be filled with life, but they that sin are enemies to their own life. So me personally, that's how I see goodness, is just being upright, just being honest, the right thing to do. So like, yeah, but since we're on that topic, let me get this precept, because this will be goodness too. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 5, and verse 44. But I say unto you, love your enemies, bless them that curse you, do good to them that hate you, and pray for them which despitefully use you and persecute you. So we're coming into times where we're going to be hated of all men. Family's going to start hating us, forsaking us, talk crazy to us, right? Those are the times we're coming in. Those are the times we're in right now, and it's going to get even worse. So because we're in this truth, being in this truth, honestly, you just got to be the bigger person. We're supposed to be like, Yahweh tried to say, love those that hate you, pray for those, love your enemies, bless them that curse you, do good to them that hate you. So you might have some family members that might scoff, they might talk about you behind your back. They might call you all types of names to your face. They might say you're in a cult. But the upright thing to do was still to pray with them. So I could pray with them or pray for them. The upright thing to do would be to still love them, even if they don't do it back. The upright thing to do would, just treat them with love, even if they don't do the same thing, because that's what we're commanded to do. That would be the upright thing to do. Now, going off, you be talking back, cussing them back out, calling them names, or like just being selfish, like, I'm not going to do this and this for them because they talk about me. Like, this is prophecy, it must be fulfilled. But we still got to do everything we can to be as blameless as possible and treat people with love, even if we don't receive the same thing. So that's just another way of showing goodness. Even if someone's not treating you with respect or, treating you with the fruits of the spirits or being upright to you, that gives you no right or green light to, to say to hell with them. I'm going to just treat them like trash. We're not supposed to do that. So, being in this truth, we just got to be the bigger person. The upright thing to do, which is still be the upright thing to do, would just be to still treat them with love, even if we don't receive it back. So I yield on that. if anyone had anything they want to bring out, the floor is yours.
I do have a precept. This is Matthew 18. I do 21 to 22. And it reads, like you can hear my dog in the background. But it reads, for then, it's like then came Peter to him and said, Lord, how oft shall my brother sin against me? I forgive him till 7 times. Yahushua saith unto him, I say not unto thee until 7 times, but until 70 times 7. So, we got to constantly forgive one another. Like you said, no matter how they treat us, whether they call us out our name, disrespect us, do things that's not right, we still got to forgive them and treat them, still show respect, still treat them right in order for us to get blessed and not get chastised or judged based on our actions.
Because at the end of the day, we're gonna get judged. Because everybody's gonna get judged, but we're really gonna get judged because we knew the law. So if somebody in your family, is calling you some type of name, the upright thing to do, just think about what Yahushua would do. Yahushua wouldn't call them a name back, Yahushua wouldn't do that. So the upright thing to do is just pray for them, still show them love, still be kind to them, even when they ain't doing the same thing, because that's the upright, righteous thing to do. Sis, what precept was that?
This was Matthew chapter 18, verses 20 through 22.
Matthew 18, 20 through 22. Anybody have anything else they want to bring out before I move to the next precept?
Con, I had a few precepts. Give me 1 second right quick, my bad. Okay, Con, so the first precept I had is Colossians 3 and 23. And this is like one of my go-to precepts about, and it's really good for goodness. It's really, it just reminds me of what mind frame that we have to be in when we're doing things. It says Colossians 3 and 23, and whatsoever ye do, do it heartily as to the Lord and not unto men. So when we're doing these or we're doing things as we're doing it unto the Lord, and not unto men, or sisters, so I had an example that I had is Matthew chapter 25. I'm gonna start at 35 and I'm gonna end at 39. No, I'm gonna end at 40. This is Matthew 25, verse 35. It says, for I was an hungered and ye gave me meat. I was thirsty and ye gave me drink. I was a stranger and ye took me in. Naked and ye clothed me. I was sick and ye visited me. I was in prison and ye came unto me. Then the righteous answer him, saying, Lord, when saw we thee and hungered and fed thee, or thirsty and gave thee drink? When saw we thee a stranger and took thee in, or naked and clothed thee? Or when we thee sick, Utalakia, or when saw we thee sick or in prison and came unto thee? And the king shall answer and say unto them, verily I say unto you, inasmuch as ye have done it unto the least of these my brethren, ye have done it unto me. So, like Aberia was saying, it's more than just giving, monetary, visiting the sick or doing things for, praying for those that are sick, praying for those that might be in bondage, locked up in prisons, or fasting on their behalf, or, just in all different type of ways is goodness. And then I had Proverbs chapter 3, verse 27 and 28. Proverbs chapter 3, verse 27. It says, withhold not good from them to whom it is due, when it is in the power of thy hand to do it. Say not unto thy neighbor, go and come again, and tomorrow I will give, when thou hast it by thee. So, like, delay not to, be good to your neighbor, of course, loving your neighbor as yourself. And, the Most High loves a cheerful giver. And he knows your intentions when you're giving as well. So, just make sure your intentions are right when you're doing your alms, or, you know, um, you call yourself, having the fruit of goodness. Just make sure it's in sincerity.
All praises to the Most High. Says beautiful points and beautiful precepts. Definitely got to make sure it's in sincerity, because the Most High is gonna definitely look out, but the Most High knows our heart. He knows the thoughts we think. So the Most High knows if you're not being sincere, and Lord will not get a precept on that. Because we don't want to have a mindset of, well, I'm gonna just send her these precepts because I know she's going through it, and I know that that's what I'm supposed to do, but I really don't even feel like doing it. She always texting me. You guys just gotta make sure it's sincere, and you gotta genuinely want to be there for your sisters and genuinely want to bear these burdens with them. Because if we could fight the demons by ourselves, we wouldn't need each other. But we can't. We're not Superman. We're not Superwoman. We just can't do it by ourselves. So definitely, and like Sister Lily said, through the Spirit, is giving alms just goes way past money. Praying for our nation that's homeless, because like a sister, had told me through the Spirit, it was very humbling. All praise to the Most High. But I was at camp with my head like 2 weekends ago, and it was really, really cold. And I was like, dang, it's cold. And then she was like, what helps me is just praying for the homeless in Israel, because they out there in that cold. They living out there in that cold, but we got somewhere to go home to. So giving alms goes past giving money. It's praying for Israel that's homeless, that ain't got no roof over their head, because it could always be worse. It's praying for Israel that's really going through it behind closed doors. It's praying for Israel that been battling with the same thing for months. It's praying for Israel that you just can never know what somebody going through and somebody on their last straw. So it just goes past giving money. But Lord, let me find this precept, Salakia.
Could I had, well, maybe it might be the same one, but it's in Cyrex. You think it's the same one? Cyrex chapter 35?
Oh, mine was in Cyrex at 17.
Oh, okay. Go ahead. When you finish, I'll read it.
This one is more so like talking about our ways, not the most unknown our thoughts, but this is Cyrex 17 and 15. Their ways are ever before him and shall not be hid from his eyes. Verse 19 to 20, therefore all their works are as the sun before him, and his eyes are continually upon their ways. None of their unrighteous deeds are hid for him, but all their sins are before the Lord. So if I'm gonna read verse 21 too, because it's me. But the Lord being gracious and knowing his workmanship, neither left nor forsook them, but spared them. So if we're giving alms to someone and it's not sincerity, the Lord knows that. The Lord knows our works. The Lord knows what we're doing. The Lord knows we're going off. And when you're not doing something sincerity, you're going off. So the Lord knows that. He knows your unrighteous dealings. He knows your unrighteous deeds. Can't hide nothing from the Lord. The Lord knows everything. The Lord is literally clocking everything we do. God, his angels clocking everything we do. I be feeling like I'm getting stalked because we are though. But seriously. But that was my precept, sis. You got it.
Okay, Con. This is Cyrex chapter 35. I'm gonna start at verse 6. It says, the offering of the righteous maketh the altar fat, and the sweet savor thereof is before the Most High. The sacrifice of a just man is acceptable, and the memorial thereof shall never be forgotten. Give the Lord his honor with a good eye, and diminish not the first fruits of thy hands. In all thy gifts show a cheerful countenance, and dedicate thy tithes with gladness. Give unto the Most High according as he hath enriched thee, and as thou hast gotten. Give with a cheerful eye, for the Lord recompenseth and will give thee 7 times as much. So Khan, I was just thinking about, when we're doing alms and stuff, and thinking about doing things unto the Lord and not unto men. It kind of goes into, giving as we're giving unto the Lord. So give with a cheerful heart, and the Most High, He'll recompense you for that. Not saying that He owes you anything, but He don't owe us anything. But if He sees it fit, He'll give us increase for giving cheerfully.
That's if he sees fit, because the Lord, like you said, the Lord ain't got to do a dang thing. Shoot, the Lord didn't even have to bring us into this truth. That's just His mercy and His grace. So it's like kind of like, definitely when we're giving alms, we just definitely don't want to have the spirit of, oh, I'm a yeah, the Lord gonna definitely look out for me. Yeah, because that's a wicked spirit. It's not a sincerity, and like the sister said through the spirit, the Lord don't owe us nothing. So yeah, goodness goes a long way. Honestly, I ain't gonna cap. Goodness goes a long way. It really does. We just want to make sure we're doing this for Yahweh Shema Shah, and everything we're doing in the name of the Lord is in sincerity. Because like the sister Lily just brought out in Matthew 25, when we do things to our people, we're doing it unto the Lord. So moving on to the next fruit, if nobody else had anything, it would be faith.
So like I had one more for like if we not like on a kind of on the opposite hand of if we not. This is Cyrex chapter 4, and I'm gonna start at 4. It says, "Reject not the supplication of the afflicted, neither turn away thy face from a poor man. Turn not away thine eye from the needy, and give him none occasion to curse thee. For if he curse thee in the bitterness of his soul, his praise shall be heard of him that made him." So, yeah, calm.
So like, what was this precept?
That was Cyrex chapter 4 and 4, and then I read down to 6.
Verse 8 is mean too. Let it not grieve thee to bow down thine ear to the poor and give him a friendly answer of meekness. So doing these things unto our people shouldn't be grievous. Fasting for your sister because she's low in the spirit shouldn't be grievous. Giving Israel some uplifting words or a blanket if you got it. Because look, you can always go buy another blanket. They $2-3. If you got a blanket in your car, it shouldn't be grievous to give it to Israelite that's homeless. Giving and sending your sister precepts because she keeps calling you shouldn't be grievous. None of these things should be grievous. So kind, all praises. So kind of next fruit is faith. Strong's G14. So like Strong's G4102.
Strong's G 4102. Pistis.
So I mean, you kind of just gotta. Let me see what I wrote down because I didn't write all that. But belief, you can just read it. Conviction of the truth of anything, belief, relating to Yahweh, the conviction that Yahweh exists and is the creator and ruler of all things, provider and bestower of eternal salvation through Yahweh Shai. Faithfulness, belief with the predominant idea of trust or confidence, whether in Yahweh or in Yahweh Shai, springing from faith in the same, the character of one who can be relied on. So basically just having faith. Where's the other word at? Hold on, y'all. Fidelity, faithfulness. And fidelity just means faithfulness to a person, cause, or belief. So this word right here, fidelity, that's the word that really stood out to me when I was writing these down. Fidelity means faithfulness to a person, cause, or belief demonstrated by continuing loyalty and support. So like my tongue. continuing, yeah, loyalty and support. So let that stick. So an example I wrote, and faith, there's a plethora of precepts on faith, okay? But an example I wrote on how I personally see how we can have faith in this walk, and Lord willing, we can discuss what y'all think. But I wrote, no matter what we face in this walk, we got to have faith in Yahweh Bahasham Hamashem Malak Hawashah. It is impossible to please him without it, according to Hebrews 11:6. No matter what we face, we got to remain faithful to the Lord and continue to keep the commandments and not transgress. We must remain faithful to the Lord and do his will, even when you're in a dark season and things not looking too good. So back to that word fidelity, faithfulness to a person, cause, or belief demonstrated by continuing loyalty and support. So when we're going through a trial and tribulation, we remain faithful to Yahweh Shema Shah by not transgressing, by keeping the faith in him and not losing hope in him. That's how we remain faithful to the Lord. We remain faithful and continuing loyalty and support by still reading the scriptures, even when staying on your back, telling you to doubt Yahweh Shema Shah. Faithfulness in Yahweh Shema Shah and continuing loyalty looks like still praying, even when staying on your back, telling you not to pray because he ain't came through. Faithfulness to Yahweh Shema Shah is still keeping hope in the Lord and not giving up on him and waiting patiently on him. That is faithfulness to Yahweh Shema Shah to me. So no matter what we face in this walk, we got to remain faithful to Yahweh Shema Shah. Lord, when I get this precept, this is the book of, I thought there was Job that said that, but Proverbs 17:3, let me move this up here. Psalm 17:3. And it reads, thou hast proved mine heart, thou hast visited me in the night, thou hast tried me and shall find nothing. I'm in purpose that my mouth should not transgress. So when David says, I am purpose that my mouth should not transgress, to me, when I think about having faith and keeping and remaining faithful to Yahweh Shema Shah, I think of this precept. Because no matter what we face, no matter what we face in this walk, and our faith is being tested, our mouth cannot transgress. Our mouth shall not transgress against Yahweh Shema Shah. We shall not transgress. Just because the Most High hasn't come through on our little time that we think he ran on, because the Most High runs on his time, just because the Most High hasn't came through when we think he's supposed to, that does not give us the green light to go back into our old ways because you're tired of waiting on the Lord. That doesn't give us the green light to transgress against Yahweh Shema Shah and transgress with our lips as well. So no matter how the Most High proves us and visits us in affliction, no matter how he tries us, we still got to remain blameless as possible, remain in the faith in him and not transgressing. So me personally, that's what I think about when I think about remaining faithful to Yahweh Shema Shah and practicing that fruit of the Spirit. I think of this precept because no matter what we face, we cannot transgress. I'm not saying we're not going to fall. I'm saying we're going through affliction and your flesh and Satan telling you to just say to hell with it. I'm saying we can't transgress in that time when our faith is being tried and lose hope in Yahweh Shema Shah. That's what I'm saying. So if anybody had anything, the floor is yours before I pull out my other precepts.
Colin, that reminded me of Proverbs 24:16. It says, for a just man falleth 7 times and riseth up again, but the wicked shall fall into mischief. So it's basically, the beginning of the precept, because if that man he may be falling or stumbling, but he rises up again. I mean, that's nothing but faith, knowing that the Most High is going to continue to guide him, and having that faith is pushing him to continuously rise anytime there might be a stumbling block or a place that he may fall short. So and then I had Psalms 119:71. It says, it is good for me that I have been afflicted, that I might learn thy statutes. Just knowing that everything that we may be going through is for our betterment. Paraphrasing Romans 8:28, that all things work together for our good. So
All praises, sis. I don't think I've ever read this precept, Psalms 119:71. So all praises for bringing that out. But Con, I've never thought about Proverbs 24:16 like that. When a just man falls, we get back up. That's nothing but faith. Con, that is, when you think about it, faith in the Lord that, Lord willing, he's going to have mercy on you. Faith in the Lord that, Lord willing, he's going to allow you to get back up and go harder. Faith in the Lord that, Lord willing, you're going to increase after that trial. Lord willing, faith in the Lord that he's going to continue to deal with you. Faith in the Lord that, Lord willing, he's not going to forsake you. Faith in the Lord that, Lord willing, he's going to forgive you. That all is faith. So all praises. It's a plethora of precepts on faith, but I will get a couple. This is one that I just really love running to now, because something that I like to think about when my faith has been tried is, first of all, call how about Hashem Hashem like how shot he's even dealing with me, because the Lord is not dealing with every man, child, and woman, man, and pet in Israel. He's just not. But this is Psalms 37:25. I have been young and now I'm old, yet have I not seen the righteous forsaken, nor his seed begging bread. So something I like to ask myself, and I like to ask sisters when our faith is being tried, because at the end of the day, the Most High is a tester, not a tempter. At the end of the day, when we're having doubtful thoughts of Yahweh Shema Shah, it's just Satan trying to throw us off. It's just these demons. These demons are trying to sift us out every second they can. Luke 21 or 22, verse 31. I don't remember what chapter. But it's either in 21 or 22. Lord willing, somebody can pull it up. But Satan is always trying to sift us out. So if we got any type of doubt, that's just Satan. But something I like to ask myself and sisters, like I was saying, is, has the Lord ever forsaken me? Has the Lord ever forsaken y'all? The Lord you cannot name me a time. Now, if the Most High has ever forsaken you, I'll shut the whole call down. Okay. But that has never happened. David said he's been young and he's been old, and he has never seen the righteous forsaken or begging bread. So if the Most High has never forsaken us, what makes us think he's going to forsake us this time? That's just nothing but the flesh rising up and getting us to doubt. Because all it is Satan. Satan wants our faith. Like I heard someone say on TikTok, Satan wants our faith. Because once Satan got our faith, he got us in a chokehold. Because once Satan got your faith and he got you thinking that the Lord isn't going to come through, then you lose hope in the Lord. And woe to them that have lost hope and lost patience, as said in Cyrex chapter 2. We lose hope in the Lord. Once you start losing faith, you lose hope in the Lord. You start thinking that you can do it all by yourself because the Lord don't got you no more. Nothing but Satan. You think you don't need the Lord. So now you lean on your understanding and you think you can do it all by yourself. Now you stop reading, because when you're in the flesh and you stop moving in the spirit and you start losing faith, what you got to read for? Because reading the scriptures give us hope. Reading scriptures give us faith. Reading scriptures give us comfort. Reading scriptures help us learn. That's Romans 15:4. So when you start losing the faith in the Lord and you moving in the flesh and you don't think you're going to come through no more, you don't read. Because what you need to read for? You start reading, you start praying, you start fattening, and boom, Satan got you where he wanted you. Satan got you where he wanted you. So that's why our faith is so important. So Lord willing, when we're being tried and we're going off, we don't got faith. How you don't got faith in Yahweh Shema Shah? He brought you in his truth. The Most High has always come through. So Lord willing, we can just really move in the fruit of the spirit of faith. Because in this walk, it's walking by faith and not by sight. And like we talked about on one of the calls, if we knew everything that would happen in our life, we wouldn't need faith. If we knew what seasons we would be in, how long we would be in them, if we knew every bad thing that would happen to us, if we knew every time we go through heartbreak, we wouldn't need faith. But we need faith, because when we go through these trials and tribulations, we need faith that we're going to be able to get up out of them. So when our faith is being tried, we got to just ask ourselves, has the Lord ever forsaken me and left me out to dry? And when you're losing faith, you doubting Lord, you really got to cut yourself up. This word is a two-edged sword, Hebrews 4:12. You got to cut yourself up and repent and rebuke and pray and do what you got to do to get that nasty, wicked demon off you, because all it is a demon. So Lord willing, we could just, and I know it's easier said than done, because some demons you just always going to struggle with, like it's saying he just going to always might try you in one area. He just always might just try you in that particular area. He's going to always keep trying you. But Lord willing, we can really get our faith down pat. Because if we don't got faith right now in the small trials and tribulations, light affliction, 2 Corinthians 4:17, then how do we expect to have faith in Jacob's trouble? Yes, the Lord can do what he wants. He put this spirit in you have faith, but we need to be talking about faith now. You know, faith is even as something little as like this. I was at the airport last week flying back to Texas, sadly. But I got off the plane. I got off the plane and I was in Dallas at this point. I got off the plane. Hold on, was I leaving Atlanta or was I leaving Dallas? It was 2 occasions. So I was leaving Albany at this point, flying to Atlanta, because my plane went from Albany, Georgia to Atlanta, Georgia, from Atlanta, Georgia to Dallas, Texas. So I'm getting off Albany plane. Now I'm in Atlanta, getting off Albany's plane, trying to find my way to the gate to catch the Dallas plane. So I didn't know where I was going, and I don't remember my ticket showing me where I would get, like, where the gate was, like where I needed to be. So I'm like, well, actually, it's like, I'm thinking about the other time. It's like. I didn't know where Terminal T was because I was all the way in Terminal D and my flight was in Terminal T, that big old airport. I was like, where am I going? So I walked all the way back. It wasn't that far. I walked all the way back to the plane and I stopped 2 women. And I was like, do y'all know where so-and-so is? They weren't very helpful at all. So I just turned around and started back walking. So I was like, dang, like, I don't know where I'm going. And so then Esau with his fancy technology, I'm looking at the Delta app, y'all, they got a GPS to help you get around the airport. I said, yo. So turns out, so I'm walking and turns out as soon as I pull the GPS, I was going the right way the entire time. The GPS said, go down the escalator. Y'all, I was standing in front of the escalator the entire time. So it just goes to show you got to have faith in the Lord. The Lord is always with us and guiding us. Now, the other time is when I got off the Atlanta plane. The Atlanta plane, and I was in Dallas. Now, this is where I was going to get my baggage. So again, like I was saying, I didn't remember them telling me where my baggage was. Usually when you buy a plane ticket, it tells you where to get your baggage, but I don't remember them doing that. So I just started walking. And because of that trial that happened a few hours prior, I'm in my mind thinking, hey, you know what? I got faith in the Lord. He'll direct my steps. He already did it. I was going the right way the entire time. So faith is just something as little even as that. The Lord directing your steps in a Walmart store. You can't find the chicken, even though chicken is easy to find. But, so the most I had me see people, like he had me peep out some people that I saw on my plane. So I just started following them. And it turns out I'm walking and I see my suitcase. And I was like, see that? So faith is even as something as small as having faith in the Lord that he'll direct your steps when you lost and don't know where to go. And the Most High is going to send us through different trials and tribulations, right? You might go through a trial and tribulation where your faith is tried. And now you're in a different trial and tribulation, your faith is tried again. Why worry and lack faith when when Most High has already shown you he's not going to forsake you? So, the Most High, So the Most High was directing my steps the entire time. I ended up being right in front of the place. So now that I'm getting my faith tried again, my patience tried again, why worry when he's already directed me once? He gonna direct me again. He's already did it once, he'll do it again. So faith is even as something as little as that. I just want to share that. But it's easier said than done to have faith, but it's something we got to do because all it is Satan that's trying to get us to doubt. But at the end of the day, if you can't name me a time the Lord has forsaken you, then why are you lacking faith in Yahweh Shema Shah? And there's no answer you can give, but it's none but Satan.
Something.
Breaking up, sis.
Can you hear me now?
Kinda.
What about now?
Kinda.
Okay, I was saying, we should probably come up with a challenge or something. Like we can challenge or something, try to stay faithful throughout the whole week.
Because our faith's our faith is gonna always be tried.
Absolutely.
Come on, sis. This is Psalms 22 and 4 through 5. Our fathers trusted in thee; they trusted, and thou didst deliver them. They cried unto thee and were delivered. They trusted in thee and were not confounded. So we have scriptures here to comfort us and to give us hope. It said in Romans 15 and 4. You know, we have scriptures here that we can learn from. So that's why we got to read. We're never going to know the miracles Yahweh did. We're never going to know how the Most High came through for our foremothers and our forefathers if we don't read the scriptures. That's why we read the scripts, so we can know these scriptures and know that it's here for us for our learning, to see how the Most High delivered our foremothers and our forefathers, and to know that if he did it for them, he'll do it for us. The Most High delivered our forefathers. The Most High led our forefathers. The Most High guided our forefathers. So how much more us? And then skipping down to verse 24, for he have not despised nor abhorred the affliction of the afflicted, neither hath he hid his face, neither had he hid his face from him, when he cried unto him, he heard. So the Most High has never despised us. You know, he's never hid his face from us. He's never turned his face away from us, you know, when we're trying to keep these commandments. You know, so it's like, when you're doubting faith, it's nothing but Satan. And you got to get that nasty demon off of you. You know, I think that's one of all these demons are irritating, but if I could choose that unfaithful demon, that's a wicked, nasty demon. Because the Most High has came through time and time again. We repay him again and again by lacking faith. How many times do the Yahweh Shemashah got to show you that he got you, he got your back? How many times the Lord got to show you that for you to have a little more faith? The Lord done showed you. However long y'all been into the truth, and every time you've been through something, the Lord has came through every time. How many more times the Lord got to show us he's not going to forsake us? So why we keep lacking faith? So faith fruit is really, really important. Really, really important.
Colin, I had that precept you was looking for, and did you say it was in Luke?
I said Acts.
Oh, Salakia. Well, I have a different one then. It's actually Luke 22, 31 and 32. It says, and the Lord said, Simon, Simon, behold, Satan hath desired to have you, that he may sift you as wheat. But I have prayed for thee, that thy faith fail not. And when thou art converted, strengthen thy brethren. So I think that was what you was touching on. You know, pretty much, you know, Satan desires to have us, you know, he wants us to be lacking faith. He wants us to waver. That way the Most High is not able to do his job. You know, he's not able to be there for us in the way that we actually need him to be. Like his works will not manifest if we don't have that faith. It says, you know, in Hebrews 11 and 6, without faith it's impossible to please the Most High. So and Satan does his job. It's just like, okay, well, you know, you don't have the faith that I'm gonna be able to do it, so it ain't gonna get done. And that's kind of, I'm gonna read Cyrex 2 and 10, and then I'm gonna read down to like I guess 13. Cyrex 2 and 10. Look at the generations of old and see, did ever any trust in the Lord and was confounded, or did any abide in his fear and was forsaken, or whom did he ever despise that called upon him? For the Lord is full of compassion and mercy, long suffering and very pitiful, and forgiveth sins, and saveth in time of affliction. Woe be to fearful hearts and faint hands, and the sinner that goeth two ways. Woe unto him that is faint-hearted, for he believeth not. Therefore, he Salakia, therefore shall he not be defended. So it's just like, you know, when you're lacking that faith, like, you know, you're not gonna be defended, you know, and you basically kind of being double-minded, you know, and you that make you unstable in your ways. So we don't want to be looked at by the Lord like that. We want to be hot and not lukewarm. You know, we don't want to be lukewarm. We want to be hot in our faith. We don't want to be spewed out, you know. So, it just all reminded me, to sum up what I'm trying to say, of Matthew 14 and 27 down to 31. It says, Matthew chapter 14 and 27, it says, but straightway Yahushua spake unto them, saying, be of good cheer, it is I, be not afraid. And Peter answered him and said, Lord, if it be thou, bid me come unto thee on the water. And he said, come. And when Peter was come down out of the ship, he walked on the water to go to Yahushua. But when he saw the wind boisterous, he was afraid, and beginning to sink, he cried, saying, Lord, save me. And immediately Yahushua stretched forth his hand and caught him and said unto him, O thou of little faith, wherefore didst thou doubt? I'm like, dang, you know. So the wind and being boisterous, it just reminds me of, you know, tough times, afflictions, or, you know, things that we might be going through, and then we're wavering in our faith. And it's like, oh, okay, oh, you little faith. Like, why did you doubt? You've seen all of this that I've brought you through. Times when your bank account was probably low, or times when you ain't had no food, or times when, you know, you was running late, or, you know, you just had a deadline for something, or just anything. Like, you know, the Most High, he'll give you that grace period, or he'll help you out. So it's like, all these other times I didn't help you out, and I didn't, you know, delivered you from whatever you was going through, and now you decide to be ye of little faith. Like, I promise, this account always cut me up, like, no matter what. But
See that? That's
And that
beautiful.
is absolutely
And Salakia, Lily, that that was the precept I was looking for in Luke. I don't know why I said Acts, but that was the precept. So the water.
all praises to the Most High. See that?
Yeah. But you know, like the Most High just had us both say through the Spirit, you know, why did we doubt? You know, like the Most High just had me say through the Spirit, you know, the Most High I'm finna be a year in the truth. And I kid you not, there's been times my bank account has had 30 cents, maybe a penny. I'm not even lying. But, you know, I trusted in how much because the Most High has always made a way. Literally, he's always made a way. You know, I'm finna be a year in the truth, and I can't name a time when the Most High has forsaken me. Even in the world, you know, the Most High has never left me out to dry. You know, so it's like, why do we doubt? The Most High showed us time and time again, you know, that he's gonna come through. And however long y'all been in the truth, if you've been a year, if y'all been a year in the truth or 2 years in the truth, you know, if you can meditate and think upon every time you faced affliction, and the Most High has delivered you out of it every time. So why do you doubt? A little faith, feign that tribulation, being moved. Why do you be moved by these spiritual demons? You know, when the Most High has already showed us time and time and time again, he's not going to forsake us. And we go off by leaning on our own understanding, trying to figure things out, when the Lord ain't told us to do that. All the Lord said was just have faith. I had like 2 more precepts on faith. And let me back on what you said, Lily, because we don't say piggyback. But let me back on what you said. James chapter 1 in verse, I'm starting at 6. But let him ask in faith, nothing wavering. For he that wavers is like a wave of the sea, driven with the wind and tossed. So, you know, when I think of wavering faith, I think of that big red balloon at the car washes that be doing all this, moving side to side and bending over. That's what I think of. All over the place, being tossed to and fro by the winds. That's what I think of. Y'all know what I'm talking about? I'm gonna pull it up.
Con.
Carl Ross red balloon. I think of this thing right here.
I'm crying. Yes, Con. Oh. Not Anita, Mike.
I think it is. just tossed to and fro with these different winds. That's what I think of when we're wavering in faith. You don't know if you want to believe in the Lord, or you don't know if you want to figure it out yourself. You just don't know. You just moving all over the place. We're just wavering, but for let not that man think that he shall receive anything of the Lord. So this plain upon tables, reading a different translation, do what you got to do, plain upon tables. If you wavering in faith, don't even think you're going to receive anything from the Lord. Lord's not dealing with lack of faith. Hebrews 11:6, it is impossible to please him. For he that cometh to Yahweh must believe that he is. A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. So when you waver in faith, you're just double-minded. You don't know what you want to do. You don't know if you want to believe in the Lord. If you don't know if you want to figure it out yourself. You're just all over the place. You don't know what you want to do. The Lord's not dealing with that. So it's Hebrews 11:6. But without faith, it is impossible to please him. For he that cometh to Yahweh must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. So period, point blank, dot, exclamation mark, whatever you got to do, it's impossible to please the Lord without faith. So the fruit of faith is definitely important, especially in this walk. I'm gonna get one more precept. I'm telling you, I'm supposed to throw a precepts on faith. But this 2 Corinthians 5:7. For we walk by faith, not by sight. That's the classic. So like the Most High had me say through the Spirit, if we knew everything we go through, we wouldn't need faith. If we knew what trials and tribulations we face, we wouldn't need faith. But we need faith in the Lord that he would get us through these things. But Lord, we can really work on that fruit. Literally, we could all use an increase in faith. So, and another thing I just wanted to say, you can't ask the Most High to increase your faith and then expect him to just hand it to you in a gift in a gold box with a bow on top. They don't work like that. The Most High is going to put you through it. Well, my personal experience, the Most High is going to put you through a trial and tribulation where your faith is tried, and you either got two choices: have faith or not. And then you can't. What are we faithing for? The Most High answers our prayers. The Most High be answering our prayers, but I guess we expect the Most High to answer our prayers in a gift golden box, in a new car key, or whatever the case may be. But when the Most High, we ask the Most High for more faith, ask the Most High for more patience, ask the Most High for more love. He's going to put us in a position, in a situation to where we need that fruit. And we're going to have to show the Most High either we got it or we don't. So what I've noticed is, when I ask the Most High for more faith, he puts me through a tribulation where I need to have faith. That's how you get more faith. You're going to go through this trial and tribulation. Your faith going to be tried, for real. So, Lord willing, we can just faint not at these tribulations because we know we got to go through these things, as Paul said. I'm trying to think if I had any more precepts on faith, which there's a lot of precepts on faith, but we really need the fruit of faith in this walk. Definitely, because it could just seem like it's not, it could just, a lot of, you could just be battling with so many things, being faithful in your how about you out shot and not give up and not lose hope, because how's the Most High going to defend you, as said in Cyrex, if you lost hope? So Lord willing, we just have more faith, and not search out things that's too hard for us. But kind of you.
I just had Revelations 3:15 and 16. It says, I know thy works, that thou art neither cold nor hot. I would thou wert cold or hot. So then, because thou art lukewarm and neither cold nor hot, I will spew thee out of my mouth. And I kind of paraphrased that precept earlier, but I just wanted to let sisters know what I was referencing.
And I have two precepts. I have Ephesians 4:14. Let me go to it. Find this Ephesians chapter 4:14, how you're speaking about not being tossed to and fro. I have Ephesians 4:14. It reads that we henceforth be no more children, tossed to and fro and carried about with every wind of doctrine by the sleight of men and cunning craftiness whereby they lie in wait to deceive. So basically, how you were saying, don't be tossed to and fro like being unstable. Then the next one is Cyrex 5. 9 through 10. Go into it. Okay, and it reads, Whittle not with every wind, and go not into every way. For so doeth the sinner that they double talk. Be steadfast in the understanding, and let thy word be the same. So basically, we don't need to be double-minded or unstable in our ways. We need to have one mind and one focus, which is having faith and not being weary.
Praises, sis. Beautiful account. Beautiful account. Kind. Gotta have some strong faith in this thing. And some sisters got more faith than others. A lot of sisters, we all got different spiritual gifts, blessed from the Most High, spiritual talents, whatever. That's why I can't think of the precept, but it says something like, something about the weak. Some sisters are weaker in some areas. I think Paul said it. I really can't remember right now. I think Paul definitely said it. I think y'all know what I'm talking about, but because we brought it out on the last call, Lily, but I can't remember. But some sisters are weaker in other areas, and some sisters are stronger in other areas. So you might be this sister that you got faith. I know a sister. Her faith is beautiful. Like, boy, she don't be tripping about nothing. I'd be like, oh, praises. That sister got some beautiful faith for real. So it's some sisters that are stronger in other areas, and then you might be that sister that really struggle with this faithful, unfaithful demon. And that's why we need sisters around us to exhort one another and provoke one another good works. That's why we need sisters to look up to. That's why we need sisters, because you might be that sister that's stronger in that area and have more faith, and this sister might really struggle in that area. So you come in and you be that sister, you be your sister's keeper, and you help her in that area through the power of spirit. How about Shema Shah? Praying with her on it, fasting with her on it, giving her precepts, exhorting her when she's lacking faith, rebuking her when she's lacking faith. That's what a sister's supposed to do. This is Matthew chapter 17 and 17. Then how I shall answer and said, "Oh, faithless and perverse generation, how long shall I be with you? How long shall I suffer you? Bring him hither to me." And how shall I rebuke the devil? And he departed out of him, and the child was cured from that very hour. Then came the disciples to Yahushua apart and said, "Why could not we cast him out?" And Yahushua said unto him, "Because of your unbelief. For verily I say unto you, if ye have faith as a grain of a mustard seed, you shall say unto this mountain, remove hence to yonder place, and it shall remove, and nothing shall be impossible unto you. Howbeit this kind goeth not out but by prayer and fasting." So a mustard seed is really, really, really small, like really small. It's very tiny, as y'all can see. It's very tiny. Even if you got like a little faith, goes a long way. A little faith is better than no faith. A faith goes a long way. And at first I didn't understand this parable. I was like, that's some little faith. That's a little seed. I didn't understand this parable. I was like, that is a small seed. But, from what most I put on my spirit, little faith is better than no faith. Even if you got faith as a mustard seed, just a little bit of faith, it can take you a long way. God. But kind of at first I was like, what type of what you mean faith as a mustard seed? But kind, so little faith better than no faith, But kind, anybody else had any precepts on faith before we get into meekness?
Not for me.
Big guy. All right, so
No, I had one. Okay. I had Psalms 55 and 22. Let me get there. Bear with me. All right. All right, this is Psalms 55 and 22. And it reads, "Cast thy burden upon the Lord, and he shall sustain thee. He shall never suffer the righteous to be moved." So, just kind of playing upon tables. Dealing with that unfaithful demon, just gotta really practice casting our burdens onto the Lord, truly casting all of it onto him. We just gotta learn how to have that mindset of The Lord is not a liar. And that's Numbers, whatever, I forget. I know Ken know it, but yeah, we gotta make sure that we meditate upon the ordinances of the Lord and these precepts He's given us, because He gave them to us for a reason. Everything that He put in the scripts is for a reason. And we're supposed to find comfort through the scriptures as well. Numbers 23 and 19. And that's Romans 15 and 4, if I'm not mistaken. Find comfort through the scriptures. So when we're feeling like we don't have no faith, or, we're just kind of letting the flesh overtake us, we got to remember these scriptures. Get cut up through the spirit. Like Ken was saying. 2 Peter 3 and 9. The Lord is not slack concerning His promise. Come on. That's a fact. But kind of yield. That's all I wanted. I wanted a different one, but that was a mighty one too. You got it. Huh?
What do you mean you wanted a different one?
I'll try to find it. Hold on.
But this is something I was thinking about as y'all and I was talking when she said that the Most High is not a liar. This 2 Peter 3 and 9, the Lord is not slack concerning His promise, as some men count slackness, but is long suffering to usward, not willing that any should perish, but that all should come to repentance. So the Most High is not slack concerning His promise. The Most High has spared us so many times. So whatever, Most High ain't liar. The Most High say He gonna do something, He gonna do it. Everything Yahweh Shema Shah has said is came to pass and will come to pass. So playing upon tables, Most High ain't a liar. Yahweh is not a liar. So the Most High say He gonna do something, He gonna do it. But we gotta wait patiently on Yahweh Shema Shah. Psalms 37 and 7, wait patiently on the Lord, because we are on the Lord's time. I'm gonna get 2 more precepts and I'm for real yielded. Rest in the Lord and wait patient for Him. Fret not thyself because of him who prospereth in his way, because of the man that bringeth wicked devices to pass. So wait patient on Yahweh Shema Shah. Then I wanted to get 2 more. Sorry, not sorry. Dang, what was that? Dang, that's say no. I just had them on tip of my tongue. Oh, okay, I praise I remember. So this is John 13 and 7. Yahweh shall answer and said unto him, what I do, thou knowest not now, but thou shalt know hereafter. So when we're going through things and, we just unsure because we walk by faith and not by sight, we'll know why, we might know why we went through it after, but we're going to know what Yahweh Shema Shah was doing after. But this is Yahweh Shah speaking. So what I do, thou knowest not now, but thou shalt know hereafter. So that's why we need patience. We'll know sooner or later, but it's not of us to know the seasons or the times we're in. It's not of us to, the Lord ain't got to tell us anything. But if the Lord want to reveal something to us, we'll know after. All you need to know is through that trial and tribulation, keep the faith. You don't got to know nothing else. And then we go off trying to know extra stuff because the Lord ain't told you to search out that stuff, leaning on your own understanding. Acts 1 and 7. And then, I'm not going to pull these, but well, actually, why not? Why not? This Acts 1 and 7. And he said unto them, it is not for you to know the times or the seasons which the Father has put in his own power. So it's not of us to know these things we go through, how long we're going to be going through them, blase. It ain't none of our business. All we need to know is endure and keep the faith. And then I just got a few more precepts. I'm going to do it on my phone. This Jeremiah chapter 32 and 17 and 27, and it reads, Our Lord Yahweh, behold, thou hast made the heaven and the earth by thy great power, and stretched our arm, there's nothing too hard for thee. Behold, I'm the Lord, the God of all flesh. Is there anything too hard for me? So there's nothing too hard for Yahweh Shema Shah. So we just gotta have faith. It's easy said than done, but we just need to have faith. Like, I'm just being real, because like the sister Lee said through the spirit, The account she put in Matthew chapter 14, it's like how many times the Most High got to show us that he gonna come through. The Most High done showed us time and time again. Why did we doubt? Why did we doubt this time? Yes, this time, because we constantly keep doing it. With this Mark 9:23, Yahweh shall said unto him, if thou can believe, all things are possible to them that believeth. So all things are possible to them that believe. And the Most High, how the Most High had me think about something like a few weeks ago was the sooner or later we realize that the Most High is in control. Because me and my king, we were finna drive back to, well, he was finna drive. I was gonna be in the passenger seat. We was finna drive back to Georgia. We was in Florida. And the car battery, it turns out, y'all, this happened the second time, but the time I'm finna tell y'all about is the first time it happened. But turns out we ended up going to the car shop, y'all. They said there was nothing wrong with the battery. Absolutely nothing. Nothing wrong with the battery. Like the battery was good and the oil was good. So nothing's wrong with his car. We're thinking something wrong with his car. The battery's dead. The Lord did that. The Lord cut his car off. The Lord allowed that car to not come on. But sooner or later we realize that the Lord is doing these things and Yahweh got the control, the much more at peace will be, because there's no point in stressing about stuff that's out of your control that you can't do nothing about. What can waterman do? What can a little us do? We can't do nothing. What can we do to stop Yahweh Shemashah's plan and his will? The Most High way is perfect. If the Most High, it says in Ecclesiastes, if the Most High already got something crooked, who are we to try to make it straight? He already put it like that. So the Lord is running the show, not us. He the movie director, not us. So all things are possible to them that believe. The car ended up coming back on. The Lord cut that car back on. And if the Lord wanted to leave that car back off 40 more minutes, he could have did that, because the Lord does what he want to do. And all things are possible to them that believe, so just like, the Most High, he can do all things. Even when it's not looking too nice, the Most High can do all things. All things are possible to them that believe. And also said in Matthew 19:26, unto men this is impossible, but unto Yahweh all things are possible. So flesh, mortal men can't do this, but Yahweh, he can do it. The Most High created the heavens and earth. Yahweh Shemashah, the Most High can do all things. So we just got to remember the Most High is bigger than all this. He's bigger than our trials and tribulations. He's bigger than a man's going to the Lord. The Most High is bigger than all this. Bigger than all of it. But I'm really done. No more precepts on faith. I don't think I got any more. So now the next fruit. Meekness. This is Strong's G 4236.
Strong's G 4236. Praates. Praates.
So meekness is gentleness, mildness, and meekness. If you scroll down, it also says humility. Mighty precept, Lily. So I wrote for an example, as women, we must be meek, meaning being gentle and humble towards our sisters, nation, husband, etc., and loving and treating us with respect and love, even when they don't do the same. I also got a precept, 1 Peter 3:3-4, because beauty is vain. Beauty is very vain. Whose adorning, let it not be that outward adorning of plaiting the hair and of wearing of gold or of putting on of apparel, but let it be the hidden man of the heart, in which that is not corruptible, even the ornament of a meek and quiet spirit, which is in the sight of Yahweh a great price. So like it says, just kind of playing upon tables. Your adorning shouldn't be of the plaiting of hair and the, or the nicest garment you got for the feast day, for the Passover, whatever the case may be. Let it be the hidden man of the heart, which is corruptible, even the ornament of a meek and quiet spirit, which is in the sight of Yahweh a great price. So the Most High, a meek and quiet spirit is beautiful in the sight of the Lord. The Most High could, to hell with how we look. The Most High could care less about how we look. you know, how good our hair up may look. The Most High can care less about how many piercings we got. The Most High care less about colored contacts and lipstick and eyelashes and nose rings and toes and fingers and whatever the case may be. Most High care less about it. Most High is trying to see the hidden man apart. He's searching our inner parts. Psalms 51:6. He is trying to see what type of spirit moving in. Are we sincere? Are we really moving? That's what he's trying to see. You know, so that's to be our main priority. What type of spirit moving in? You know, so I just put that precept because they mentioned a meek and quiet spirit. But me personally, I've never really understood meekness very well, being honest. But me personally, from what I do understand, is it just means like just being, you know, just humble, like humility and being gentle. So Lord willing, y'all can tell me what y'all think on meekness. And like I said, how I think of meekness is, you know, just being gentle towards your sisters and humble and things of that nature. So I yield.
I would say, you know, back in the ancient world,
Breaking up, sis.
care. I would say, you know, treat. Can you hear me now? Okay, so I was saying how we used to treat each other with care. So, you know, with the things you gave, being gentle, mildness, meekness. I'll say treat one another with, yeah, just in case going through, be gentle, you know, take care. This want somebody to take you.
Breaking up, sis.
Can you hear me now? Do I sound good now? Can you hear me now? Okay, so I was saying how we, you know, gotta treat each other with care spiritually and physically. You know, for example, if a sister keeps calling about what she's going through, you know, don't be so tough and rough and, you know, scare her away, but take care of her with, you know, care. You know, the same way you want somebody to take care of you, or, you know, for example, taking care of a baby, you wouldn't just be rough with the baby. You be very gentle with them. So I say be gentle and careful with one another.
Con, you know, also like to talk about gentle, like, cause I think me personally, like meek means like just being gentle and humble with one another. So I guess we could say like when it comes to sisters in the world, not looking at them any type of way, and I'm not saying like literally mugging them, but not thinking in your head wicked thoughts towards them, because Most High can have us right back on that end in the blink of an eye. And the only reason we're in this truth is because of the Most High's mercy and grace. So we are nobody to put ourselves on a pedestal above anybody. Just because we're in the truth does not make us any better than the next sister that's in the world. Because last time I checked, all Israel was equal. Except the Levites, of course. But anyways, you know, no sister's above no sister. You know, so just because a sister's in the world and she doesn't have the understanding you do, and the only reason you have understanding is because the Most High gave it to you, that does not give us any right to talk to her any type of way, treat her any type of way, or look at her any type of way, or think any type of wicked thoughts towards her. And Most High has checked me on that personally, you know. So I guess me personally, being meek would be like just being humble towards your sisters in the world, you know, being patient with our people. Because demons are out here, and they're definitely out here on people in the world. We're dealing with demons, you know, but we're doing everything we can and not commune with them. But people in the world, they're really communing with these demons. So demons be on our people. So we really got to be patient with them and humble, you know. So that's what I think about when I think about meekness, just humbleness, like humility, a low state, and just being gentle, you know. Just me personally, I just also I need to also continue to work on how I talk to my sisters. It's gotten a lot better with my head, so call it how about Shamash, like how I shot for that. But more so my sisters, you know, because we just want to make sure we speak with the law of kindness. You know, even if we're just joking, something shouldn't just be said, you know. So you know, just striving our best to move in this righteous foremost. Would Sarah say that? Would Judith say that? You know, and you got to think about it. when we read about our people in the old, like in the ancient times before we was under the curses, like our people really, they was up there back then. Had gold, houses, you feel me? Diligent women, mighty sisters, you know. So you gotta think of Sarah, like you gotta think of Sarah and Judah and Susanna on a whole nother level. You feel me? On a whole nother type of level. Would Sarah say that? Would Judah say that? Would Susanna say that? Now you gotta really, because these were honorable women, you feel me? Phoebe. Am I thinking of the right sister? Hold on, let me go to Romans 16:2.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. Phoebe. Think of Phoebe and Tabitha, also Dorcas. Would they say that? But is that something they would, Priscilla and Aquila? Would they say something like that? You know, because you got to think of our foremothers, you know, I can't even imagine what they was like. It like, you know, that's why we find these demons to strive to the kingdom, so we can be able to converse with them one day, Lord willing. I can't even imagine what they was like. But those were some mighty women. Hey, Phoebe was so Phoebe was a securer. She was so mighty. Hey, Paul mentioned her. Paul mentioned Phoebe. I just can't even imagine the type of level our foremothers on. So when it comes to being gentle, like would our foremothers say something like that? You know, because our foremothers, they was getting down. You feel me? Book of Exodus, chapter 20, I believe, they was dancing with the timbrels. Let me see. I might be tripping. No, not 20. I think it's 15. Hold on, let me see. Salaki. Might be 15. 15 and Miriam. I'm looking for the precept about Miriam. Is this the right? Wait. Exodus 15 and 20. And Miriam the prophet is the sister of Aaron, took a timbrel in her hand. All the women went out after her with timbrels and with dances. And Miriam answered, saying, them, sing ye to the Lord, for he hath triumphed gloriously. The horse and his rider hath he thrown into the sea. And so our foremothers on a different type of level. They dance and they're praising the name of Yahweh Shema Shai. You don't see Eve doing it in the world. So our foremothers on a different type of level. So we just got to ask ourselves, would our righteous foremothers do that? You know, because we got to strive to be in the spiritual foremothers as much as possible. So I just kind of try to think of my foremothers when it comes to reverencing my husband and and talking to my sisters, how I treat my sisters, how I treat my husband. You know, because I can read the accounts of Sarah, and if Sarah wasn't bucking up against her husband, I shouldn't be doing it either. If Sarah wasn't talking crazy to her husband or talking crazy to her sisters, then I shouldn't be doing it either. Can't find an account like that because Sarah wasn't on that type of time. You know, so kind of Lord willing, we could just when I think of meekness, I just think of gentleness and humbleness. So Lord willing, y'all can tell me what y'all think on meekness. Lord willing, I yield.
And I was thinking the same thing when I was reading gentleness and humility. And I was just thinking about like being long suffering, and just the two accounts, not for you know, kind of like the opposite side of being meek, or so being like prideful or I guess boastful, will remind me of Miriam when she spoke up, and then how the Most High turned her leprous for 7 days. And then the whole camp was witness to that. And then also I was thinking about Job's wife and how he just told her, like, you speak as one of the foolish women, like you speaking like you a fool, like, you know. So that was kind of the opposite side of being meek, prideful and boastful. And then for meekness, gentleness, humility, being long suffering, I was kind of on the same page you was on. So Proverbs 15:1, it says, a soft answer turneth away wrath, and it's Salakia, but grievous words stir up anger. So just being mindful how we talk to one another, it kind of it helps us remain meek, just understanding that the Most High not dealing with you when you're being prideful or boastful. And I just had two more precepts. Just paraphrasing. You kind of paraphrase it, but it was Proverbs 31:26. It says, "She opened her mouth with wisdom, and in her tongue is the law of kindness." Um, oh, I actually got a precept next to that. Let me go see what that is real quick. It says Cyrex 37:22. But just the way we talk to one another is really important. Cyrex 37:22, it says, "Another is wise to himself, and the fruits of understanding are commendable in his mouth." So just having that fruit of the spirit of being gentle and meek. And the last one I had is Cyrex 36:23. It says, "If there be kindness, meekness, and comfort in her tongue, then is not her husband like other men." So, for the sisters that are married, of course, you're a representation of your husband. And for sisters that aren't, we're representation of Yahweh Shai, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. And it's like we want to have our works showing, a good pattern and, uncorruptible. So just learning how to speak with one another, how to handle one another. Like Kiki was saying, like handling one another, like in gentleness, when we're going through something, because I've been there before where, my sister, she's constantly calling me about the same thing. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not even upset with you. I'm upset with this daggone spirit. Like, I want to choke this spirit, like, because it's vexing my sister so bad. Like, so we just gotta remember to stay meek during all of that, because the Most High will see us through.
Yabana, you had something?
Con. I had a precept, but yeah, basically meekness to me is just, just like y'all was saying, gentle, humble, quiet, being submissive, and also, having patience as well, and just making sure that you're moving with moving in the right spirit and having like the right attitude about things, just really moving in the spirit of being calm at all times, not easily, moved to be out of the spirit, and like you let others, like what others do unto you, it doesn't bother you. Like a lot of the times, like especially as women, because we're so emotional, like somebody will say something to us and like boom, we're quickly out of the spirit, or we get real defensive. But to be meek, we gotta let we gotta be what's the word we're looking for, being
Temperate.
not temperate, but yeah, that's a good one too. I was gonna say to be able to be easily imposed upon. So basically, like somebody can do whatever, and you're just still in the spirit. You still keeping your ground. You still being meek. You're still you know moving in the spirit of our righteous foremothers, moving like Yahweh Shai. Even when people are demanding your attention or commitment, you're willing to um willing to meet their needs, or willing to respond in a gentle way or a non-offensive way, if that makes sense. And obviously that's something that everybody got to work on, because that isn't, it just, you don't just wake up with that necessarily. But, you know, especially in this truth, like, especially with like family members, like, I don't know, that's something I need to work on, being meek around family members, because the demons they be having on them, boy, it just be something different. But, you know, you gotta let no, for real. And then they be, oh my gosh. But yeah, we gotta be easily imposed upon. Like, they should be able to come at us, you know, well, they shouldn't, but you know, they gonna do it anyway. That's just the spirit the Lord has on them. But they should be able to, if they do come at us crazy, you know, we should be able to just sit back and still be calm through the spirit and be able to speak, you know, with that law of kindness, speak, you know, still gentle through the spirit, and submissive to Yahweh Shai / our heads as well. So, you know, we gotta make sure that we're just being meek towards each other, because Matthew 5:5, the meek shall inherit the earth, you know, aka the kingdom. So we have to be meek. So we have to make sure that we're trying to possess those characteristics. And also, let me get another precept. They said, and when we're meek, it brings peace. It brings peace when we're meek. When we don't give our energy, like so much energy, to things that are unprofitable, you know, it benefits us in the long run. And this is hold on, I think it's Psalms. The Psalms 37. I don't know if I pulled this yet, but Psalms 37:11, it reads, "But the meek shall inherit the earth and shall delight themselves in the abundance of peace." So we have to be meek in order to inherit the earth, inherit the kingdom, inherit the well, you know, we have promises, but you know, to be called great in the kingdom. And we'll be able to delight ourselves in abundance of peace. We'll have that peace of mind, knowing that, okay, you know, Yahweh Shai was meek, you know, our foremothers were meek. So we have to try to possess that characteristic inside of us. So if we want, you know, these things that Yahweh Shai has set up for us, if we want that peace of mind, if we want peace inside of our households, we got to try to be as meek as possible. But I think that's all I had.
Con, you said a mouthful. All praises. Beautifully said.
Okay.
Con, Yahweh Shai was meek. Yahweh Shai walked in the fruits of the spirit. So how much more us? You know, definitely being meek, like just being gentle and just being able to remain calm. Like you said, when around family members, you know, most I definitely check me. You know, this weekend, when I was with my mom, you know, I said something I shouldn't have, and I had to repent for that. You know, we just gotta be mindful of how we speak to our parents, no matter how old we get. You know, because if I was still under my mama roof, she would have smacked me in my mouth. But you know, I'm older now, so she didn't do that. She kind of spared me. You know, but you still gotta just make sure we're just doing right by our people. Like the most I had us bring out earlier, Matthew 5:44. You still gotta love those that despise you, pray for them, you know, treat them with respect, you know, because look at the times we're in. I'm already losing family members, and our hell ain't even broke loose yet. So we're in the times we're gonna be starting to be hated of all men. Our hell's gonna be breaking loose soon, you know. So people's gonna start talking crazy about you. They spit on your house, they talk crazy about your house. How much more us? That's why Yahweh Shah said, drink of this cup. We got to be able to drink of the same exact cup Yahweh Shah did. And like the most I have me tell a sister, you got to have tough skin in this truth. You know, not saying you can't be emotional, but the most I was not dealing with over emotional women. But we're the weaker vessels. It's also okay to cry. But you got to have tough skin in this truth. We're in the times where we're going to be hated of all men. If you can't take being hated of all men for how about Shema, are you really built for this? You gotta have tough skin in this truth. You shouldn't be getting provoked and pissed off every time somebody say you're in a cult. This is expected. Oh well, call like how about Shema, you know? So and like the sister y'all when I brought out, just like if our family come at us crazy because that's the spirit the Most High got in them, we should be able to still remain calm in the truth. It's like a calm in the spirit. Now, when I first came to the truth, that's not the type of time I was on. You say something to me, I'm finna say something back, and we finna get turned. But the Most High had humbled me, and He delivered me from that. But now we should be able to just remain calm in the spirit. If somebody come at you crazy, like my mom used to always tell me, the best response is no response. You don't gotta say nothing. You don't gotta say nothing. You don't got a point to prove. One of my family members came at me crazy. I just said, okay. And they responded, yeah, okay. It's like, you don't even gotta respond most of the time. The best response is no response. You don't gotta go tit for tat and say something back. Just because they say something now, you want to get turned and say something back. That's not being meek. Y'all silly. But kind of y'all not really said a mouthful. Y'all not kind of hit it all on the nail. She kind of hit it all on the nail. We should be able to just remain calm in the spirit and meek and humble and represent Yahweh Shema Shai, represent this truth, especially around people in the world, family members, especially. But especially with my family members, because like I said, we're all battling with demons, but people in the world, they're communing with them and we're trying to fight them. Our spirits irritate their demons. Point blank. Our spirit irritates their demons. So, then where was I going with this? Like, yeah, that's Satan. I'm sorry. Bear with me. I'm sorry. I'm getting tired. Bear with me. That's Satan. I forgot where I was going with it. But all in all, just remaining humble and representing how about Shema Shah and being a light, because if every time somebody in your family says something to you and you jumping down their throat back, they're gonna be like, I thought you was an Israelite. I thought y'all was supposed to be meek. I thought y'all was supposed to speak with the law of kindness. You ain't doing that. We gotta represent Yahweh Shema Shah, and it's true, because the Most High got the angels clocking you, and everybody, and I kid you not, I'm guaranteeing you, every family member, they're waiting on your downfall. They want you to come back in the truth. They're waiting to find fault in you. They want you to come back in the world. They wait for you to slip up so they can say something. I thought you was an Israelite. You ain't supposed to be talking like that. They can't wait to say something about you.
I told you I wasn't true.
They can't wait to put you on blast. I don't think you're supposed to be speaking like that. So it's just like, we got to really be a light, because they're going to do everything they can to find fault in us. They clocking us. They're going to do everything they can. So we really just got to be that light. And somebody come talking crazy at you, okay. That's how you feel, respectfully. Whatever the Most High put in your spirit to say, if you say anything. But like, I don't want to ramble, but y'all know she hit it on the nail. She definitely hit it on the nail. And I know I need to work on that for sure. I ain't gonna say no much, but I know I definitely need to work on that. And back to being gentle, how we speak to one another. Just it's a time and place for everything. Everything's not a joke, and I'm learning that in this truth. I like the joke, but it's some things, and I had a smart mouth in the world, and that spirit kind of be hopping on me today. I personally don't like being asked questions somebody should already know the answer to. So I tend to catch little tunes and say something slick, which is not meek at all. How I wouldn't do that. It don't matter what I like or I don't like. If somebody got a question, all I got to do is answer it in meekness and humbleness. Nothing else, nothing to it. But the flesh rise up and that smart mouth come in, and that ain't meek at all. And I'm just being real. So that's something I got to work on. And it's just, that's what it is, so just definitely being humble, how I talk to my sisters, and being meek and treating people how I want to be treated. Because if I ask a sister a question and she hit me with a smart response, I'm looking at my phone like, what I do to her? So treating sisters how you want to be treated.
Or they're like, all I needed was a yes or no. All I needed was a yes or no.
So, and you don't want to push people away. Don't nobody want to deal with, because I know I don't want to deal with a sister that's always catching attitude. Always got something smart to say. I don't want to deal with that. So, just treating sisters how I want to be treated. Just watching what I say and how I say it, because they might not take it offensive, but Yahweh Bashar Shah gonna definitely take it offensive because he know we're supposed to be acting like that, you know. Like I might say something to Mayan because she knows me really well. And y'all know I might say something. They might not take offense to it. You feel me? Because they know I don't mean no harm. But in my spirit, I know that wasn't the right thing to say. Even if they don't take no offense because, you know, they know I ain't mean no harm. But I know that wasn't the right thing to say. How about Shamash? I know I shouldn't have said that. I still got to repent because that wasn't meek. You know, so even if you might not be offending them, you're offending the Lord. You know, so that's all I had on meekness.
And I was thinking, you know, when you're meek and you know, in a state of gentleness and humility, being long suffering and stuff like that, it also helps you be observant to those times. You know, it helps you be like more in the moment. So like I know that when I'm fasting, I'm at my meekest estate, because I'm, you know, humbling myself. And a lot of things that would get to me while I'm not fasting, you know, while I am fasting, I'm like, okay, well, you know, this would have got to me, you know. It makes me want to be more in that state, like how I am when I'm fasting. It helps me. I don't know if that's making sense. Like it kind of heightens my sense on, you know, okay, well maybe this person they asking this, you know, in sincerity, or, you know, my family member they being, you know, it helps me kind of like slow down before I give a response to something. And it helps me be more in a state of, I guess, not being easily offended or not taking things the wrong way. It helps me kind of be like, well, you know, they might really have a genuine question, so let me just answer this. Or, you know, if like I know for me sometimes my mom can be my trigger, and I'll be like, now I know she know, and then I just be like, you know what? It ain't even worth it. And when I used to how I would in the world, it like adds a flame to the bad meek way, like Proverbs 15:1. It puts that fire out. It like my grandmother always would say, like, two keys can rattle, but one key can't rattle by itself. So it's like when you hitting people with like the meekness, it's just like, oh, she moving different, you know, or oh, like that spirit that might be on them is not going to react the same way if you what it kind of just made me think about while you was talking.
That's a very beautiful point. The two keys rattle thing. I need you to type that in the chat. That was nice right there. All praises.
That's that wisdom from the elders.
For real. You know, that's beautiful. This 1 Corinthians 13:5 doth not behave itself unseemly, seek not her own, is not easy provoked, think of no evil. So we can't be easy provoked in this truth. Every time somebody says something, you're ready to fight and punch them in the eye. Like, what's that for? And the Proverbs 15:1 precept, a soft answer turneth away. Let me pull up real quick. But that made me think of what I was just saying through the spirit. You know, like when the sisters ask me a question or my mom might ask me a question and I feel like they already know the answer, I have this a soft answer turneth away wrath, but grievous words stir up anger. You know, and it's kind of that precept reminded me of what you was just bringing out, because you know when just moving meekness, it turns away wrath. You know, but the minute you step outside of the spirit and you step outside that meekness, and now you're getting crazy at the mouth, now you bringing wrath. Now they demons ready to attack your spirit. Now y'all finna go tick for tack. You know, so that made me think of that precept. Like I was saying, like if when you know, because I've done this in the past, said some a little smart remark, you know, soft answer turn away wrath. You know, that wasn't a soft answer. That didn't need to be said. But you know, if I just would have had a soft answer, then maybe, because you know, people in the world, when you say something slick, they might, you feel me? They might say something back. They might be ready to get turned with you, getting that feel with you feel me? But but what I'm saying is, like, when you talking, especially when talking to people in the world, we just gotta practice that soft answer, because we don't, it's gonna bring wrath. And if we would have just said something a little different, turned up, changed our tone, maybe altered a few words in the sentence, maybe added a compound in there, or maybe a therefore, maybe put a but in there, maybe said it real soft and gentle, then we wouldn't be where we at right now. But that flesh rose up, and now that wrath is there. So kind of, meekness, definitely just sup with me, or just being gentle, being humble, because we was once in the world, foolish, disobedient, Titus 3:3 on down, and only reason we're in is true by the Most High mercy and grace. So it's also being gentle with sisters in the world, because sisters in the world don't know what real love is. And we talked about this on one of our calls. We didn't know what real love was in the world. So people in the world don't know what real love is. So a sister, in the world might say something crazy, but you still got to show that sister love. If anybody didn't have nothing else, we're gonna go to the last fruit, which is temperance. I really like temperance.
I had another sister was talking.
No, you good.
Oh, okay. I just had Titus chapter 2, and I'm gonna go to 7 and 8. It says, in all things, showing thyself a pattern of good works and doctrine, showing uncorruptibleness, gravity, sincerity, sound in speech, that cannot be condemned, that he that is of the contrary part may be able, Salakia, may be ashamed, having no evil thing to say of you. So, just showing ourselves a pattern of good works, just so, like you say, oh, your family's like, oh, well, I thought you were Israelite, you're not supposed to be doing that, or, whatever. Just, this is a really good precept for that. And then I had Titus chapter 3 and verse 2. It says, to speak evil of no man, to be no brawlers, but gentle, showing all meekness unto all men. So,
Our works and fruits got to speak for itself. Like I said, you can, diligent as you want, but you ain't loving your brothers and sisters and moving the fruits of the spirit, all goes to naught. This is the last fruit, and it's temperance, and it's Strong's G1466. Okay, it ain't working well. And it reads, self-control, the virtue of one who masters his desires and possessions, especially his sensual appetites. So temperance, plain upon table, is self-control. And sensual just means physical. So I guess the stuff you eat. But also what you feed yourself spiritually, if you want to get technical. But without further ado, an example I wrote was, as women, we must have self-control in all things, control of our mouth, control of our spirit, not being quick to anger, control over how much we eat and how unhealthy we eat. The list goes on, but a false balance is an abomination of the Lord, Proverbs 11:1. So Lord willing, we can practice self-control in all our areas and have a just balance. So temperance, you must have a just balance, and you must have a just balance, because temperance is self-control. You can't have too much of nothing. That's why that just balance is key. You can't have too much of nothing. Too much of something will drive you crazy. You got to find that balance. So Lord willing, I'll get the precepts that come to mind. We're gonna do Proverbs 11:1. A false balance is a false balance is an abomination of the Lord. Yeah, false balance is an abomination of the Lord, but a just weight is his delight. So when it comes to temperance and self-control, we gotta have that just weight, because you can't have too much of nothing, or if you do, it defeats temperance. You ain't got no self-control. So, and temperance, it goes a long way. Temperance. Hold on. Temperance goes a long way, because it's self-control. So it's a lot of things we need self-control of. We need self-control of our spirit. Just going back to what we were saying, being gentle, being humble. self-control of your mouth, you know, because being humble, you don't got to say that. Self-control over, you know, just self-control over all things. Self-control over how much TV you watch, self-control over how much you're on social media, self-control on when to speak and when not to speak. Just putting like a tame on yourself, controlling yourself. So this is Proverbs 25:28. He that have no rule over his own spirit is like a city that is broken down without walls. So we gotta have rule over our spirit. You know, we gotta be able to control our spirit, because if not, we're like a city with walls broken down. There's no structure. That's the like if it's a city and there's no walls, there's no government, there's nothing, things are going crazy, all hell is breaking loose. It's madness. So if you don't have control of your spirit, I mean, so we just got to have control of our spirit. We got to have self-control, you know, taming our tongue, you know, because, you know, me personally, I've said some things I shouldn't have, like, they don't need to be said. Just shut up. Just shut up. You got to say that. You got to say that. You got to say that. You know, so, that what makes me think of when it comes to temperance, just self-control of all things. And how do y'all think we can use temperance as well? And when we're not using temperance, we'll be going off because you don't got self-control of your mouth. You always quick to say something. You don't got control of your spirit. You always quick to anger. This is Proverbs 16:32. He that is slow to anger is better than the mighty, and he that ruleth his spirit, then he that taketh the city. You know, so he that is slow to anger is better than the mighty. So the Most High said, if you can be slow to anger and control your anger, you're better than a mighty man. Let me get this other precept. So like here. This is, where are you? Okay, found it. Okay, so this is Proverbs chapter 14:29. He that is soon angry, so like that's not a precept. Proverbs 14:29. He that is slow to wrath is of great understanding, but he that is hasty of spirit exalted father. So Yahweh said, Shemashah said, you the ones that are slow to wrath is of great understanding. So you have great understanding when you're slow to wrath. You know, so we got to be able to control our spirit. Let me get this last one on the wrath thing, because temperance just goes a long way. You just gotta have self-control of all things, you know, and I'm just leave it at that. But this James 1:19, wherefore, my beloved brethren, let every man be swift to hear, slow to speak, slow to wrath. You know, so you got to control your spirit. Your flesh is going to tell you, get turned. Your flesh is going to tell you, say something. Your flesh is going to tell you all these things, but we got to humble down, deny the flesh, crucify the flesh. Because if you live in the spirit, let us also walk in the spirit. So if you really move in the spirit, you're going to walk in the spirit. But when you fulfill the lust of the flesh, you're going to be in the flesh. So controlling our mouth and controlling our anger, that's all about just crucifying the flesh, you know? So, you know, when it comes to controlling or just temperance, self-control, we got to be able to control our spirits. You shouldn't be getting easily provoked all the time. Every time somebody says something, you shouldn't be ready to fight. You shouldn't be always pissed off. Controlling your mouth. You don't always got to say something. Learn to be quiet sometimes. Controlling your mouth, watching how you talk to people and how you say things, because it's not about what you say, but how you say it. You know, just control, self-control in a lot of areas, self-control in everything. You know, but what did y'all think on that?
When I say with temperance, how we can apply it, but it needs to mean basically being patient and waiting. You know, not to be impatient. You know, whether something, I mean, it could be spiritual and physically, something you want spiritually, or a desire, whether it's a new job or some more food. Can you hear me now?
But it's muffled.
That's how much you know.
Say something.
What about now?
I can kind of hear you a little
Sound
better.
clear? So I was saying, be patient, be temperate, how you saying like be so quick to anger. And how I would say like, what if we don't have it? I feel like you would feel like one of the little ones. You can scare off a lot of people, and that could be a bad judgment for you. Like you could like really mess yourself up for getting the kingdom if you're not being temperate, patient with new people, sisters come to the truth, and people that's because you don't know what's going on behind closed doors. So that could be the last reason, keep going.
It's like I can hear you, but I can't really make out what you're saying.
This is crazy. I can't turn my Wi-Fi off. Let me see.
Maybe try talking in the mic.
Can you hear me? Does that sound clear? Okay, so I sound good. What about now?
Kind of, there we go.
Okay, I had to take my AirPods out. I was saying, we had to be patient with one another. We can't be so eager or so hasty, with one another. And how that would look if we don't practice it. We could offend like one of the little ones, and scare off a lot of people. Like you could be left like, what's that precept? Ecclesiastes 4:9-10. They said, woe to him that is alone. You can get destroyed, for offending little ones and ultimately being alone.
Like the most I had me say, like, don't nobody want to be around a sister that always got something smart to say, and people ain't gonna want to be around you. So, just definitely being patient with one another, not provoking one another, controlling your temper. Why are you mad? Because, like I slick got, okay, so you also just gotta be able to discern these spirits and know everything is spiritual. I was gonna take the trash out, bro. The trash bag fell over and stuff out the trash. I was like, bro, what the?
Oh my goodness!
I was like, bro, it was
Satan.
Satan.
Me over the edge.
Most high, I was like, that's Satan. I was like, that's Satan, because, that's Satan. But you just gotta be able to peep these spirits.
That's true.
It'd be easy to provoke, especially by doing like that. If it was up to my flesh, man, I would have threw that back up. But we just gotta have temperance in all things. Anybody else have anything on temperance? Because to sum it up, we just make sure we're controlling our spirit, controlling how much we're doing things, because too much of something is not good. So controlling how much you do this, controlling how much you do that. And with temperance comes self-discipline. It just comes with self-discipline. And being real, you already got self-discipline in this truth. We've all been tempted before, and we've all escaped temptation before, but we also gave into it, So, it comes with a lot of discipline, and it's true. Temptation is everywhere. That's the condition of the battle. But it takes a lot of strength and fear and obedience to turn away from your wicked ways and to fear how about Shema Shah, to not give into the lust of the flesh and not doing those wicked things that you were doing in the world. Of course, it's the Lord doing that, allowing you to remove from those areas and circumstances or whatever. But we already got discipline when we come into this truth. So controlling your spirit also takes self-discipline. You got to discipline yourself. You got to ask the Most High and still fear you. Because if you truly fear the Most High, you're going to fear to slip with your mouth. You're going to fear to offend one of your, like, oh, so like, you're going to fear going off. You're going to fear eating too much and gluttonous. You're going to fear all these things. Because it's, when we're not walking the fruits of the Spirit, we're going off. And like the most I had us say, like, you can read as much as you want, you can labor as much as you want, you can sow as much as you want. But if you ain't walking in the fruits of the Spirit, it all goes to naught. Because you ain't You ain't really loving your people. Yeah, how much I have the fruits of the spirit? How much more else? And I'm pretty sure our righteous promotes have the fruits of the spirit again. They was that. They was that. You feel me? They was all that.
Yeah.
They was up there. It was up there. So hey, Susanna definitely had faith. That's a fruit right there. She definitely was meek. That's another fruit. She definitely was long suffering. That's another fruit. You can tell all of that based off that account you read when she was finna get put to death. You know how much long suffering and faith it must have took for her to not denounce the name of the Lord and for her to, you know, stay faithful when she was gonna get put to death for something she ain't do. You know how much faith that takes? You know? She was still being upright because she never cursed those brothers, you know. She never did nothing foul to them. She remained meek. Even when they crossed her and lied on her, she remained meek. She remained good. She remained gentle. You know, she loved her husband. You know, so Susanna definitely had the fruits of the spirit. And some precepts don't gotta say word for word. Susanna had love. You can tell she had love. Susanna was long suffering. You can tell that just by reading it. Susanna would have faith. You don't gotta say that. You can tell by reading it. You got an honest ear to hear. But kind I yield.
Con, I was.
Do I sound good?
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just checking to see if I sound
Yeah,
good.
it sounds better.
Okay, Conway.
Okay, so for temperance, before Satan try to kick me out again, hurry up. Temperance just reminds me also of being diligent. Like you said, that's self-discipline. So being diligent to kill off, like that old woman, also being prudent. So I had Proverbs 22:3. It says, a prudent man foreseeth evil and hideth himself, but the simple pass on and are punished. So, we want to be prudent of different things. Of course, you said like overeating or watching too much TV or being on social media too much, and just having that discernment of when we need to fast, or when spirits might be on, other sisters, on ourselves, on brothers, on, just anywhere, our family members. But having that spirit of temperance helps us to be prudent and have that that discernment. And I had one more. I don't know which one. I don't know. But I guess that's all I got right now. I got too many precepts written down. I can't remember which one I wanted to bring out. Oh, here we go, right here, my bad. It's Cyrex chapter 27 and verse 3. It says, unless a man hold himself diligently in the fear of the Lord, his house shall soon be overthrown. So it's just like, like Abir was saying, like we in this truth, like we already have that. The Most High has given us, a form of self-control, and because we fear Him, and unless we hold ourselves diligent in the fear of the Lord, those things could be taken from us, or we could be overthrown. So having temperance is very important. And I yield.
You can go ahead. I don't got nothing else.
I'm talking and I'm on mute. Oh my gosh.
For me to say, I'm looking
I
like,
was
okay, so
wondering.
maybe she's looking at the precept the sister brought out.
I was like, okay, she's just going over it real quick.
I was just
That's what I was thinking, but no, we ain't hear nothing.
I was just saying, let me look at
Just
this precept
tight,
you brought
sis.
out. I was just saying there's a beautiful precept. Let me look at it. You did brought out, and I was just saying definitely just gotta have control of our spirit. Just being mindful how much we do something, because too much of anything ain't good. But that's all I had. And I'm gonna just get this precept one more time to close out. This is Matthew chapter 7, verse 16. You shall know them by their fruits. You shall know them by their fruits. Do men gather grapes of thorns or figs of thistles? Even so, every good tree bringeth forth good fruit, but a corrupt tree bringeth forth evil fruit. A good tree cannot bring forth evil fruit, neither can a corrupt tree bring forth good fruit. Every tree that bringeth not forth good fruit is hewn down and cast into the fire. Wherefore by their fruits you shall know them. So if we ain't bearing good fruits, we're gonna get cast down in this thing. We're gonna get overthrown. The Most High is not dealing with bad fruits. The Most High is not dealing with sisters that want to that's doing the works and being diligent, but you're not sincere. You're not loving your nation. You don't give honor to glory and dealing with that. And I wanted to get this precept real quick as well. This is John chapter 15 and 2. Every branch in me that beareth not fruit, he taketh away, and every branch that beareth fruit, he purgeth, that it may bring forth more fruit. So if the Most High see us bearing fruit, he's going to increase us so we can bear more fruit. So that's why we pray for the fruits of the spirits. But you feel me? If the Most High see that we're not even bearing any type of fruits, we're not being sincere, we're not loving our people, we ain't giving honors, we ain't being patient, we ain't got faith, we're going to get hewn down. That's how important it is to have the fruits of the spirits. It's very important that we should have the fruits of the spirits. That's how important it is. So Lord willing, this helped. I definitely needed to go over this. I definitely needed to go over this. But all these precepts and definitions and examples I brought out, the Most High brought out through me. It's just what the Most High put on my spirit to help me understand the fruits of the spirits and how we would not be used, how we would be going off if we weren't walking in them. But honestly, the fruits of the spirit is just very important. Like we need the fruits, really do. So let's just Baba Kashai pray on these things and make sure we're bearing fruit. Because if we're not bearing fruit or not bearing good fruit, we're going to get hewn down and cast into the fire and cut down. We don't want that. We're supposed to be cleaving onto wisdom, not forgetting the first words, cleaving onto our mother wisdom, not forsaking the first love. So, we can read all you want, but if you ain't walking the fruits of the spirit, it all goes to naught. We got to be a partaker of these fruits. How shall I walk in the fruits of the spirit? So Lord willing, we can apply these precepts to our life. And Lord willing, I'm gonna get the classic one more last time before I close out. But Galatians 5 and 22. And I really loved this dialogue with y'all. So call halal. How about you, Moshe? But the fruit of the spirit is love, joy, peace, long suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, temperance. Against such there is no law. And they that are Yahweh Shai have crucified the flesh with affections and lusts. And if we live in the spirit, let us also walk in the spirit. So when you live in the spirit, you're going to move in the spirit, pure point blank. Pure point blank. So Lord willing, y'all enjoyed this dialogue. I definitely did. It was very beautiful through the spirit. Call like how I should watch them like I was shy. Lord willing, continue to provoke one of the good works and the most has me pray is reveal to me the fruits I'm missing, because like Mayan posted on Instagram the other day, don't let social media fool you. We're all fighting these demons every single day. Some days I'm not even moving in the fruits of the spirit like I should. So something the most has me pray is reveal to me the fruits I'm missing. So Lord willing, I can practice them and walk in them. Because if you ain't practicing the fruits of the spirit, you're done for. You can read as much as you want, but if you don't love your people, you don't got faith in the Lord, you're done for. So Lord willing, we can practice these fruits because we're known by our fruits. And like we said last call, if you were Proverbs 31, you ain't got to say it. Your fruits speak for yourself.
That's right.
Your spirit speaks for it. Your work speak for itself. So if you're a sister that's patient, folks gonna know. If you're a sister that get angry quick, folks gonna know. If you're a sister that's always there for other sisters and you love your sisters, you upright in heart, folks gonna know. If you're a very meek sister and shamefaced sister, folks gonna know. Your spirit and your fruits speak for itself. That's why you gotta try people. All you gotta do is examine, observe, see how folks moving. Lord willing, we can examine and see what type of fruits we're moving in. And it's gonna be the last precept, Lord willing. This is 2 Corinthians 13:5. Examine yourselves whether you be in the faith. Prove your own selves. Know ye not your own selves, how they how shall in you, except you be reprobates. So we got to self-examine and make sure we're moving into the right type of spirit. Don't try to find fault in somebody else and you ain't even looked in the mirror first. Lord willing, y'all continue to endure, pressing toward the mark, calling upon the name of Yahweh Shema Shai, self-examining, seeing how you can do better and you can go harder before you try to point out somebody else and criticize somebody else. So, Lord willing, we all got stuff to work on. I ain't perfect. We battling demons every day. Lord willing, if y'all need anything, reach out. I love y'all. And let's Baba Kashab, make sure you're walking through the spirit. Lord willing, I can make a Hebrew prayer through the Prime Spirit, Yahweh Shema Shai, about praying for the fruits of the spirit. So, Lord willing, Most High can put that on my spirit to do so. Lord willing, if he does, I will do it and send it to y'all, Lord willing. And Shalom.
Shalom. Love y'all.